All right, good afternoon. Thanks for coming to learn a little bit about LoadPay. As way of introduction, my name is David Valier. Really excited to be at Matt's today. Excited to talk about what we do here at LoadPay. But let's jump right in. Who here knows what Triumph Financial is? Ever heard of Triumph Factoring? Is anyone? Anyone? All right. So, want to talk a little bit about Triumph Financial just to give us a background of why LoadPay is able to do what it does. So, Triumph Financial manages carrier payments through a business called TPay that works with over 500 brokers. We've paid over 200,000 carriers over the course of our business. We have 50 shipper partners, and we've moved over $51 billion in payments between brokers and carriers. So I want to talk a little bit about what we saw in the industry, what the feedback we got from those 200,000 carriers were, and what we wanted to help solve. Very first off is delays in payments. So one of the things that we see is that when a broker signs up with a shipper, they're getting payment terms from those shippers these days where they're getting paid 30, 60, 90, even 120 days out. And that causes delays on the payments to carriers, to owner-operators, because those owner-operators are looking for the payment terms on 20, 30 days as contracted, but often that's not fast enough. And even when everything is done correctly, brokers and banks can actually make that process happen even slower. Second, the high operation costs of running all the owner-operators' businesses, right? You guys know better than I do of all the costs that come into the business and the importance of cash flow so that you can easily pay for those expenses and manage them moving forward. And third, limited access to credit. If you've applied for a fuel credit line, you know sometimes how challenging that is, right? They offer really high discounts, but then they won't actually underwrite for the credit. And so you can't get the discounts that they're offering. It's really, it really becomes an unfair scenario. So what did we do? Well, Triumph Financial is actually underpinned by an FDIC accredited bank. And we looked at the space and said, there's something unique that we can do here. Because we're already a bank, because we already pay those 500 plus brokers, because we're moving the tens of billions of dollars every year, why not be the bank, the only bank, that opens itself up and specifically aims its services for the owner-operator? Why do we provide value in that space? Well, our bank is open 24/7 by 365. When a federal holiday comes and you've delivered a load, your bank can't even begin processing the payment. We're able to process those payments right away. We process on holidays, we process on weekends, and it's because of the ability for you to upload your documents to your broker and the deep integration we already have, and then we make a ledger transfer. It doesn't matter what that is, but we make a ledger transfer on our side so the dollars are instantly spendable in a LoadPay account. Okay, it really is banking built for you. LoadPay was built specifically for carriers within the industry. We're bringing your expertise, our expertise together to make those payments. Faster payments is the absolute key to what we do. And the goal of faster payments, of knowing that you have a reliable payment source day in and day out for the freight that you move, that your business moves, that your drivers may move, helps you be able to invest in the future of your business. So let's talk about what faster payments really means. If you are set up with your broker to get paid with a paper check, you submit the paperwork, they approve the paperwork, they confirm delivery and that everything's right with the load, and then they start the payment process. And that check will get mailed out in a couple days, and it tends to arrive once it's mailed in 3 to 10 days to your home. All right, if you work with a traditional ACH system. So when you got set up with that broker, with that factor, and you entered your bank routing number, you entered your bank account, once you've delivered all that, once you've made the delivery and you've uploaded all the documents, that starts, they then press send on that payment, that then starts a clock. And the clock is designed to actually generate interest on both banks, both the outbound bank and the inbound bank. And that interest is generated by the banks at the cost of actually getting the money into your account. And so that takes anywhere from 1 to 5 days. We've heard scenarios that it takes as long as 7 days for those ACH payments to go. None of it's instant. Wires, who here's paid for a wire from a broker? $17, $22, these things sound familiar, right? And they're same day, kinda, right? They become same day if you make sure all your paperwork is submitted and approved before usually 10 a.m., and then that wire can get processed in the same day. If you miss that 10 a.m. cutoff, that payment then starts to get processed the next day. So you still paid the wire fee, but it gets processed on the way out the next morning at 9 a.m. The money moves out of the broker's account towards your account. But often, receiving banks, especially big national banks, community banks, charge a wire receiving fee. So now you've paid money on the way out, you've paid money on the way back in, and they held it for a day to process that wire on the way in. And we thought that was really unfair. Like, we're a bank ourselves, we've been a bank for decades, and we thought that was super unfair. And so for LoadPay, the promise that we want to make, the promise that we do make to all of our customers, and we're on our way, we just launched in January, we're on our way to over 1,000 carriers with LoadPay accounts already. Let's move this technology today. We're not worried about paper checks. We're not waiting on somebody else. We can move it between the broker, who we make payments for today, those 500 that we are really thankful to serve, to you all, the owner-operator, in less than 5 minutes. We have scenarios, and we'll talk about this, from paperwork upload to money in an account and spendable in less than 5 minutes. So what are the features? It's a bank account, right? It's not the full, it has the full range of services that you would expect from any other bank account. It's FDIC insured. It offers those payments from over 400 brokers. It is beyond banking hours because there's nothing between us and getting you your money. So even if you upload those documents and the broker hits pay you at 3 a.m. on a Saturday night, we'll make sure those payments are immediately in your account. We have all the benefits of a MasterCard. So the primary ways that our carriers today pull money out of the account, we have a MasterCard debit card. We do push to debit. So if for example, you want to move the money to another operating account, if it's titled in your same name, we can move the money instantly out of our account to that account. And third, you can ACH it out of us. But what we see from our carriers who use the product today is they tend to move over to LoadPay and use it as their operating account day in and day out. It's also got all the security that you'd expect of a bank. We have teams of people making sure that your data is safe, that your funds are safe. We do two-factor authentication every time you log in. Bear with us, you put in your username, your login, don't share those with anyone, but you put in your username and your password, and then we'll send you a text message every single time to make sure no one has access to your funds. There's cost savings as part of using the LoadPay account. We have the instant transfer fees. Let's eliminate the wire costs on both sides of the transaction. We see already that there are hundreds of dollars to be saved, whether you're factored or working directly with a broker, by eliminating the payment processing fees. Late payment is avoided because if you have the money, the moment you earn it into your account, you can go pay those who you get services from right away because you have reliable, consistent cash flow. And second, because you have that reliable and consistent cash flow, it gives opportunities to grow fleets. It gives the opportunity to say, hey, I know that I'm gonna get paid the same amount every month when I run my business on time, every time, that I'm now comfortable taking on that next truck, taking on that next lease, that next loan payment. So let me tell you a story, and this was right after we launched, and it was pretty exciting. There was one of our companies applied for a LoadPay account at 7:02 a.m. They submitted their application at 7:06. They went to loadpay.com. They filled out the brief application, and within seconds, they were approved. They received an email that said you can go make payment. At 7:10, so now we're talking 8 minutes have gone by, the first invoice from one of their brokers immediately showed up in their account. I mean, it was really exciting to see that because it was all paid from TriumphPay into a LoadPay account. In that time period, right, they were able to set up their new LoadPay account, set LoadPay as their preferred payment method, and they had their invoice payment deposited into that newly created account. One of the things that we have seen, once you get that account set up and it becomes the default place that you receive your money, that's where you start to move from document upload to payment in sub-minutes. Sub-minutes on Saturdays, Sundays, and on holidays. All right, so how do you get started today? One, you go to loadpay.com, you select Get LoadPay, complete the simple application process. Two, you'll be asked, do you want to link your account directly to all the brokers that get paid through TriumphPay, or do you want to do this for your factoring business, for your factory with Triumph Factoring? And three, you'll start to receive those payments in minutes once that linking has occurred. So today, we're offering this to our TriumphPay select carrier base. So if you're currently getting paid from TriumphPay, you're eligible for it. If you're Triumph factored, you're also able to be eligible for it. Or if you haul loads for C.H. Robinson, C.H. Robinson's a distribution partner of ours. You can actually go see them, and they'll help you get set up on LoadPay to make sure you're getting all your payments on time in the fastest way in the industry. All right, so I've told you what LoadPay is and where we've started, but LoadPay, the vision for LoadPay is so much more. One, we want to be able to help finance and management with the business team. We want you to be able to have the controls around your business, around your cash flow, so that you can have confidence. Two, if you bring on a second driver, if you already have 10 drivers, the ability for you to issue them out a MasterCard where you control the funds, where the funds are spent, so they have an expense card, so that if there's an issue on the road or some other challenge, you're able to immediately issue that out on our platform. That's coming. And then reporting and insights for tax preparation. Already today, you can actually extract all the data in a digital form, put it and upload that into QuickBooks to help with your quarterly or your year-end taxes. And fourth, and one of the things that we're really excited about, is fuel card integrations. So who today has one fuel card? Who has two? Anybody have three? Four? Our research says typically you see anywhere from 3 to 7 fuel cards being used. And there's a lot of reasons that we all have for having so many fuel cards. But one of the things that we want to do is be able to bring your own program directly to LoadPay. So why would you bring an existing fuel card to LoadPay? Well, if LoadPay is already set up as the place that a broker can instantly deposit funds into your account, we are then able to push those funds downstream immediately to your fuel account. So you call your broker, you want an advance, you say, I have LoadPay. They can immediately load the money into your LoadPay account. At that point, you'll then be able to pay instantly at the fuel station with your fuel card. It's pretty exciting technology, and it's all coming here in 2025. So why would I ask that you choose LoadPay? One, it is the only bank account set up specifically for our industry. We are here to help you get paid fast, avoid waiting on the traditional bank hours and the traditional, what they consider acceptable time periods for payments to move. Two, we want you to be able to enjoy secure, automated, and reliable transactions. We want you to be able to transact securely. And three, improve that financial stability and grow your business and help you achieve whatever goals you have for both yourself and your business. So at that point, I'd love to open this up for any Q&A about LoadPay, about Triumph. Maybe the A isn't their answer. Questions and opinions, maybe, if you will. All right.
Come down here.
It is only a checking account at this point. The question was, is there an interest rate? No, there's no interest rate. It's a checking account. At some point, we may consider adding a savings account as part of it. Any other questions? No. So there are no fees on the money coming in. There's no fees, monthly minimums. You could have a fee if you use your debit card or an ATM, and it's the absolute minimum we could set it at with the ATM companies. And then if you want to instantly transfer the money out, it's kind of like a Venmo. All right. Any further questions? If you don't want to ask me here on stage, oh, we got one up here. Yes. Yes, sir.
What about Triumph's fees?
So if you have Triumph factoring, so there's no Triumph Pay fees, but if you have Triumph factoring, you'll pay your existing factoring rate. But if you move the money from Triumph factoring into LoadPay, there's no fees to do that. So you actually get rid of the ACH fees and it eliminates any of the wire fees, and you now move to instant payment. All right. If you have any other questions, there's an incredibly talented team standing here in the back left corner, or my left, your right, that can answer any follow-up questions on LoadPay, Triumph, etc. Oh. All right. If there's any, do we have another one? Nope. All right. So if there's any questions that you don't want to ask me, feel free to go to the far back and ask any questions. Thank you so much for having us here today. I hope you have a great rest of your show. Thank you for everything that you do.